everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Scholar ChitChat podcast. I'm Joanne, your host for this episode. If you just came across this podcast for the first time and you're interested in studying abroad with a scholarship, welcome. This is Scholar ChitChat podcast, and here we're committed to bringing you relevant information to help your study abroad dreams. And in every episode, we simplify scholarships and everything graduate school. So to our returning listeners, we're glad to have you back. So for today's episode, we'll be chatting about something that can either make or break your application, and that's your academic CV. So if you're applying for scholarships, masters, PhD, or even research program, this episode is for you. And as always, I'm not doing this alone. I have a special guest with me, and he's someone who has successfully navigated this process and knows exactly what works and what doesn't, and how to perfectly craft an academic CV. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Caleb. So I'll just let him introduce himself. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. My name is Caleb Omede. I'm a Nigerian and, do I say, graduating MSc student of the Institute of Biochemistry, Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, University of Colombo, Australia. I'm a Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholar, and my area of specialization is in cancer genetics. I'm happy to be with you here today, John. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. Before we start, I just want to say congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so for those who don't know, he was one of our guests we have in Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship. So you can check that out if it's a scholarship that interests you. Down to the business of talking about academic CV. So what exactly is an academic CV?
Okay, an academic CV is, let me say, it's just like your regular CV. Just that the purpose for which it is made is purely for securing academic positions, okay, or academic opportunities.
Okay.
Maybe like scholarships, like grants, academic grants, like the positions for conferences, every position that relates to academics. So that is what makes it academic CV. And the fact that it is academic CV shows that everything about it has to be academic, you understand? So that is that about that.
Thank you very much. So will you say it's different from regular CV?
Yeah. It's the same, so that maybe somebody just coming across these terminologies will not be confused. It's still a CV is a CV, basically. Okay. But intrinsically, it's not really the same. Like in terms of certain features, in terms of structure, and things like that. So not really the same in terms of content-wise, not really the same. But all CVs are meant to show your features that makes you qualify. Which features that make you qualify for a particular position.
Thank you very much. So for someone that is just starting the academic CV today, what are like the first three things they should do? First three things they need to know and they should do?
I think the first three things, if we are to categorize it into three things, is number one, it has to know that it's all about academic achievements.
Yeah.
You must write down or note down all your academic achievements, because you're about showcasing what will make you qualified or what you think makes you eligible for a particular academic. So everything you'll be writing, every achievement you'll be talking about should be academic, and you must just note them down, because sometimes if you rush it, you tend to forget many things about the achievements you've had. Okay, so just sit down. Sometimes it may even take you more than a day to try to remember, some of the achievements you've had and things like that. Because I've had instances where people even bury their own potentials. That means they don't even know it's an achievement. Okay, it's a very common thing that people do. They may not even know it's an achievement. And secondly, structure. This person has to learn the structure of an academic CV. Okay, so the structure is somehow still different from a regular CV. So he or she have learned what the structure looks like. And thirdly, I have to say that the research goal must be a research goal, a forward-looking research goal for that matter, and it must align specifically to the lab or to the program that the person is, applying to. Okay, so if you're just getting started, your research goal, you must state a research goal. Okay, or let me put it this way: you should have research interests, and this research interest must align with the particular program or a particular, the interest of the professors you are submitting the email to. I think the three things that someone who is getting started to put up his academic CV should always do or bring attention to is, number one, you have to know that this is all about academic achievement. Okay, so you have to note down all your academic achievement. It is very easy to bury your academic achievement because often many people don't even know. This thing happened to me as well. Many people don't even know what makes up for academic achievement. There's a couple of experiences we have had, in one area or the other that we don't even know how to translate them into an academic achievement, into something that we, that we make up for a feature that we portray us, strong a candidate for that position. Okay, so we have to know what an academic achievement is. Okay, and if these things, some of the experiences we have had are actually academic achievement or are actually able to put us, strong out there. And secondly, the structure of it also matters. You have to learn how to structure it, how to structure the CV and what form it carries generally. And then thirdly, you need to have a research focus. Okay, and each CV is tailored. Your research interest and goal is tailored towards the program you are applying to, the professors, or the labs that you are applying to. So you don't just have a generic research interest for everybody just like that. So of course you can have your own field of research, fine. And within this field, you should be flexible enough so that you can have a wide range of applications, understand? Right? Because if you are that focused on, let's say, a particular type of disease, okay, so you may have a limited chances. So you just have to widen up your interest so that you can be able to throw in as much application as possible. So and you must also take your research interests as well in the CV. So okay, that is that about that.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so you mentioned structure, the format. As I'm thinking maybe like sections, that is section in the CV.
Okay.
So now the question is, what are the key sections that makes a very strong academic CV? So what are the key sections that every academic CV should have?
Let me do some highlights of the key sections.
Okay.
And one that this makes up, these highlights make up for a very strong academic CV. All right. Having that, I've seen a lot of CV, and at least you have been in this space for a very long time. So I believe that this will make up a very strong one. Yeah. So number one, your education, different sections, and the first one is usually your education. Okay. So where you talk about the educational achievements that you have had, and then your previous and current educational achievements. So we have your grants and fellowship. You have your grant, fellowship, scholarship, honors, awards. Have you had any of them before? Okay. And we also have research experience. We have teaching experience. We have relevant work or professional experience. So we have publications. We have manuscripts in progress. There is presentations and poster, sections. We have patents. If there is any, if there is none, fine, just take it out. If there is none, then you have your research interests. We have teaching interests as well. Teaching interests. If it's let's say if the position has to do with teaching assistantship or whatever, something like that, then you have teaching interest. But it doesn't have to do with that. Remove the teaching interest. So then we have professional memberships. Professional memberships. If you belong to any professional body, and it's a very strong one, it's very important. You just have to include it. Yeah. So then if you have any online courses, then you have to create an heading, a section. You can call it massive open online courses, right? And that section you should also look into is trainings, workshops, like hands-on research trainings. That's another section. Yeah. And that section you should also look into is relevant skills. You have any relevant skills, wet lab skills, computer skills that is relevant for the thing or the program you're applying for. Another important one is volunteering service. Okay. We also have leadership service. So you can merge so that you won't have too much a long CV. It's a CV that is too long, so you can merge certain section like this. Let's say usually I merge volunteering, and leadership service together. But if you don't have have a very long CV, you can separate them. Okay, so and languages you speak, and each language that you mention, always tell whether you are fluent or you are basic at it. And then finally, references. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that detailed answer. Yeah, so I'll just speak from what you said, not all of them do, and then maybe we'll just go over them quickly. So now for the education achievement for that section, how detailed should it, like, what is something that, like, how should it be, like, what's something that is expected, like, that must be there that you should write, like, how should it look like? Yeah, that's the best way to put it. How detailed should it be, and then how should it look like?
The achievement, right?
Yeah, educational achievement.
Okay, the educational achievement, education section has to be very straight to the point. Okay, this is what this is what is expected to be done in the educational achievement. You must first know that you don't need certain details. For instance, details like the primary school you have attended, the secondary school you have attended, all those things are not usually needed. So if you are applying for a bachelor's, then I think your secondary school is needed. Yeah, if you're applying for bachelor's, it's needed. Yeah, it is needed. Your previous is needed. So, but if you're applying for master's, which I believe many people do, just include your bachelor's only. And if you include your bachelor's, you should include, the name of the degree, the name of the program. Okay, that's the course of study, and then the school, the country where the school is, and the year of graduation or the expected year of graduation. Okay, and you should also state your CGPA. Understand? Okay, and there is something I want to highlight again. There is what we call advanced standing GPA. Okay, or advanced standing CGPA. Let me put it that way. Or we also call it last standing CGPA. So the last standing CGPA is the CGPA of your penultimate year and your last year. Penultimate year, I mean 300 level. Your second, the last year, and your last year. For some programs are 5 years. Okay. So if the GPAs of these semesters are stronger than the entire CGPA, the overall CGPA, sometimes you can have GPA of your last 2 semesters to be even stronger than your entire CGPA, because it is believed that you have your most important courses like modules, okay, within these two years. Okay, so sometimes let's assume on the scale of 5.0 CGPA, you have like, let's say 4.3. Okay, your last standing CGPA could be 4.6, 4.7, and that's a boost to you. So put your overall GPA and put your last standing CGPA. Then if you notice that your last standing CGPA is not strong enough, just leave it out. Don't talk about it. Just include your what do you call it? You can just leave just include your CGPA, overall CGPA. Then you can include your percentage if at all, understand. And I also know that some schools don't use CGPA, they use percentage. Whatever it is, just put it there. And then put your class rank, top 1%, top 2%, if you're in top 3%. But if you're in the top 4%, don't put it. Certain things do not really market you, so just leave it out. Don't talk about whatever does not market you well about it. Then then add your thesis topic and the names or the name of your supervisors. That's maybe that's that about that.
Okay, thank you. Another section I want to talk about is research experience and teaching experience. So for the research experience and teaching experience, what if someone feels that they don't have any, or maybe they have, but then to them it doesn't hold water, like it's not much? So what will you say about that?
Okay, now for the research experience, as long as you did a project during your undergraduate, let's assume the person is applying for an MSc position. So as long as you did a project, you have research experience. It's all about knowing how to articulate it's about knowing the systematic way of articulating. I think that's where the problem lies. First, articulation, and secondly, what to talk about actually in this with this experience, research experience that you have. Many of us don't have bogus experience in our field. Okay, when we were making applications for our MSc position, and by the grace of God, it's all about knowing how to structure and articulate it well. So now, if you feel you don't have much such experience, because I know in certain countries you may not have the opportunity to be exposed to certain experiences, maybe use of some techniques or whatever. Okay, so but start from what you have. You have a research experience with your undergraduate project, and I think also some schools, some curriculum do allow for what we call a mini or a literature review as part of their curriculum. Like in my school, then we call it seminar. It's like a course on its own within the academic structure, whereby you write a review. So that is a research experience as well. So it's all about getting to know how to put it, how to structure it, very well in your CV. So, and also for what's the second questions you are okay? That was teaching experience, okay, and even the research experience. There are a lot of things I can talk about, because some people's experiences has to do with maybe going for sample collection, and then maybe you were even the leader of your own group then, in one way or the other. That's leadership experience. So you can even bring out the leadership experience from there. So every phase of the work of your research is something to talk about. Every phase of it is something to talk about, and always bring them out in colors. Whatever you have done, bring them out boldly. Understand? Okay, and communicate them well. So, and regarding the teaching experience, of course, in Nigeria we have this what we call NYSC, National Youth Service Corps. Most of us are usually being posted to schools. So you will notice that in one way or the other in your entire life, you had teaching experience. This teaching experience, even if you are not posted to school, you might have done maybe home lesson, serve as a home lesson teacher in one or two students. Even if it's the one student, put it there. Just about knowing how to say it, what you teach. It's about learning the right words to use. Understand? So, and if you think you don't have any teaching experience at all, because some of the positions you'll be applying for could even be teaching assistantships, okay? And you think you need one, you can just apply to a school and then teach for like a term, 2 term section just for this purpose. So I believe when I could remember when I was preparing applications in those days, there were things I deliberately do. There are positions I deliberately apply for because I need to have certain experience. So I believe that will really help that. Even if you were a teacher, children's school teacher, in your religious organizations, in the church, in the mosque, it is teaching experience. It's part of teaching experience. It's just that you don't have to present it as a church or a mosque. You just have to find a way of coining it in such a way that you are not lying, but it's an organization. You understand? Okay, it's not a school, but you are teaching people. It's an organization. That's just it. The name of your church is Redeemed Christian Church of God. Just put it as the Redeemed. You understand? Yeah. Good church at the end of it. If it's Dunami, it's Dunami. International accent. You can even remove the word gospel, so that it doesn't look. You understand? But just the name of the place, okay, such a way that it doesn't look like a religious center, and then the people you taught sometimes 50 students, okay, and what are the things you taught them? You will not say you teach them this. So there is a way you can put it, okay, because one thing about religious settings like that is that you are teaching moral values, okay. When you teach them that it contributes to society, yes, that is where you are breeding a better generation with good values, people that are fit for a better society. So you are really doing a great job there. So if that is only what, I'll find a way of seeing it inside in a strong way. Thank you.
In a strong way is very important. So let's talk about work experience now. What actually matters? Like for some people, maybe their research interest is maybe, let's say, something that has to do with diabetes, for example, and then their work experience, maybe all the work experience they have is something that has to do with, maybe, let's say, malaria. So how will you advise such a person, like, kind of write his work experience? Mind you, the person doesn't have any work experience, their research interest, but they have work experience in another interest. So how should such a person make his CV very strong?
Many of us have fallen into that this thing before, position where yes, the your aspirations, or inspired positions or interests are not even related to some of the experiences you have had, maybe because of the society you have found yourself or whatever. Now, the thing is this: what you should do is find the connecting points. Number one, you shouldn't even deviate. Also, you shouldn't even deviate from the background experience you had. For instance, if you studied accounting, so there are programs that travels around accounting. They revolve around accounting. You shouldn't go that far from it. You understand? And if you must go from it, that means you must have other achievement to show for it. For instance, you studied biochemistry and you want to go for accounting, you know it's not possible. Yes, if you want it to be possible, then you must have a connecting point. I have heard of students who got scholarship positions, in data science, and they studied biochemistry. I have heard one like that. But the thing is this: if you look at that applicant, he had connecting points rather. Okay, yeah, he had connecting point. Maybe he has done internship in fintech companies that his roles were all about data science. He had certifications in them and things like that. So, and even within the biochemistry, that we did a course or a module. There is this biostatistics. So just know that there should be a connecting point. Okay. Now, the fact that you do not have connecting point means that you cannot directly apply for that program. If you don't have any connecting point, you'll be shooting yourself by doing that. Yeah, you can apply for a program. You can't assume an interest where you don't have anything to show for, anything to prove that you have experience, okay, in that area, or you have an academic staff in that area. Okay. Now, the most common or the predominant status of people is a case where they don't have much relevant experience in that, okay, in the interest they have. And while their bachelor's degree is in line, okay, all right. Sometimes their project is in line, sometimes their project is not in line. Okay, so what you should do in that instant is that every experiences you have had, look into it very well. There might be a way that it connects. Yes. Okay. For instance, someone like I studied biochemistry, right? Luckily, I had my research project in oncology, in cancer research. So my interest falls in cancer research, and it was a very good standing for me, even though there were practical experiences. I'm talking about experience with techniques, okay, that I don't have. So what I did in such case was that I tried to pick up online courses, okay. I tried to learn certain skills on YouTube, online, okay. And if you can even search on Google to know if there's any workshop in that your field within your state where you are living that can give you. It can be a 3 or 4 day workshop that can give you. Sometimes you have to pay for it. Of course, workshop you have to pay for them. These are the sacrifices we pay. Okay, so you have to pay to get that experience. Can be a 3-4 day hands-on experience on certain skills. It will really help. Yeah, it helped. Yeah, I remember there was someone in Lagos who was doing a PCR course then, and then you have just 1 day to do the hands-on experience for PCR, for gerontophoresis, for blotting. Just 1 day, but you will have like maybe a week of rigorous theoretical teachings about those skills. I paid for it. Then I think it was 50,000 thereabout. So I paid and we had the classes, understand? So, and I wouldn't say in my CV that it was just a day of practical experience. No. And I was even grateful to God that those classes were having delays. So it was spanning from 1 month to another. We couldn't have it regularly because our resource person was not always available to attend to us. So sometimes she was postponed. I was happy with that. So if you have it to span within February and January, so it's very good. You can just say you had this experience, you did this and this, January, February. That's it on your CV. You don't have to say that it's 1 day. So always remember the rule of thumb is that whatever weakens your standing, don't include it. Find a more generalized way to put it. And that's a very good. That thing, I was happy to have had that experience, and it was a very good one. So it will really help you. And another thing is that as long as you had some connecting points, find a way to make other experiences you have connecting, because this experience you have and you think is not connecting, there could be something about that is connecting. For instance, I have a friend who won a Commonwealth scholarship. His project then was on, they call it lacatum. It was working on I think the kidney. They were checking on the histopathology impact of lacacera. Lacacera is a drink in Nigeria, and tom tom. Tom is like, how do I call it? For generalize, it's like a candy, like I don't want to call it a chocolate, but it's like a substance you just put in the mouth and lick. It's very sweet. So the mixture of them, it was observed that there are guys on the street who drink such as hard drinks, and they get high, on that. So they wanted to research and know what is the effect of this, on the kidney, on the liver, and things like that. That was what they did. But at the end of the day, the guy was able to find the strength, the connecting point between it and cancer research. It's not as if it's cancer research research, but there are points in it that you can make from it. Okay, number one, the fact that a research experience. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the fact that you have done histological tests, liver function tests, all those things. It shows that even aware with laboratory apparatus, you are aware with. Are you getting the point now? Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Aware with laboratory apparatus, you are aware with handling of experimental animals. You're familiar with handling certain things. They are all skills. It mustn't be directly that disease. You understand? It must be directly the disease your research interest. So the guy was able to put I was like, guy, how did they do it? Your research was in this area. Then you got a scholarship in cancer research. And it was like, you don't know how to market yourself. And that was what the guy told me on a very lighter note. And it was fun to us. So today the guy is working in a very big organization, still in cancer research. You understand? So I think everything find a way that connect. I was just talking about bringing out leadership experience from even your research group. If you were the leader, okay, you are a leader in your church, that's leadership experience. So find a way, a connection. And if you think there is nothing at all, find something to do. Yeah. So thank you. That's it right there about that for now. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the detailed answer. Yeah. So since you mentioned leadership experience and volunteering experience, let's just talk a little bit about that. So, but before you start, before I ask the question, I just want to say that we have an episode where we spoke about volunteering experience, leadership experience, how to get these experiences. So maybe if you are listening, you can just maybe check that out. I think the link we provided, so it will be easy for you to just go through. Now, back to my question. For volunteering and leadership experience, must your volunteering and leadership experience be related to your research interest? That's the question.
No, it mustn't be related. Yeah, but if it's related, it's fine. It's a good plus. Your leadership experience and this thing, if related, is a good plus, but it mustn't be at all. My leadership, I've never had leadership experience in cancer research. Not at all. So they're just looking for how well you can manage people, because leadership is about managing people and also managing or coordinating the non-human factors as well. Okay, maybe your time and also things around. It's about how you manage everything, human factor and non-human factor. Okay, so in fact 99.9% of times people don't even have leadership experience in the field in which their interest lie. And also volunteering experience, it doesn't have to be in the field. They just want to know that you have the passion to volunteer. You just want to know that you have experience of you have volunteered somewhere before. Yes. Okay, so and in those days we always ask, sir, how do I know I have volunteering experience? I don't have it. Because obviously you will think you have not outrightly volunteered anywhere before. You have not gone to any NGO, any non-governmental organizations, NGO, or other maybe orphanage homes or whatever to volunteer for anything before. So how do you think I have volunteering experience? So in those days when I used to attend seminars on things like this, and I would be asked, and the resource person would always ask, have you ever served in your religious organization before? We said yes. Thank you so much. That is a very worthy. We're like, are you serious? And even I used to say something very funny, but it is true. Two people wants to fight. Okay, like in the society, there are two people that want to fight, and you settled the fight. You brought reconciliation between them. My brother, my sister, it's volunteer experience. You have just done a conflict resolution. Because it sounds funny, but it's something. Because that thing would even lead to community clash. Because every fight starts from somewhere. It can be as little as anything. Okay, so even with your project, the fact that you led your group, it's a volunteer experience because you are not paid for it. You understand? Your NYC experience for those who are in Nigeria or in countries whereby every graduate have to do a particular a service for the nation. You have to serve the nation for a particular duration of time. You are not being paid. You volunteered experience. The entire year is a volunteered experience. You're not being paid. Whatever you're being given is a stipend. It's a stipend. It's not a salary. You're just being fed. You're not being paid. So it's a volunteered experience. So people have it a lot, and we don't really know that we have it. You understand? So it mustn't be related at all. They just want to know that you have the commitment to serve. You want to know that you can volunteer. You understand? So there is that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, like I mentioned, we have an episode on that, so you might just want to check that out. Yeah. So we did.
That would be very important. That would be to be vast, I believe.
Yes. So we did talk about even CDS, that's Community Development Service, for Nigerian graduate that did NYC. You have your CDS also as one
Yes.
potential volunteer experience. Yeah, so thank you very much for that detailed answer. Really appreciate. Now to the next question. What are some common mistakes you have seen in academic CVs? I believe you have reviewed a number of academic CVs. So what are like the common mistakes that you have seen that you like to share with us, and so that people can take corrections? Not everybody will get the opportunity to send their CVs for review, so you can as well just give us some the common mistakes and then how to.
All right, so let me be fast about that. Some of the mistakes are old academic details. If you are applying for a master's degree, the only educational details that are needed is your bachelor's. You don't need secondary school, your religious certifications you have had, things like that. You don't need, okay? Just put your bachelor's, that's fine. Okay, and another mistake is that even the people are writing about their academic educational details. I've earlier talked about the things that should be there. Don't just write BSc Accounting 2009 or 2021. And just write it like that, okay? Put your results, your CGPA, your last standing. I know many people don't know about this last standing. That is why I have to bring it up. I have not seen it in 99.9% of CVs. I haven't seen it. But it's just an advantage that I use. I learned it somewhere. I learned it because I remember those days I spent a lot of time attending seminars on how to write a good CV. So it's a very good one that we add up to your strength of your profile. So your people don't even also know that you need to include your thesis topic, your supervisor's name. These things are very, very much, they speak well of your academic status, educational status, okay? And another thing is that people usually add some other information again that are not important, okay? Or that are wrong. For instance, you are using a personal email like, my name is Caleb234@gmail.com. This looks informal, okay? It looks informal. It doesn't look official at all. Just if it's Caleb, just put it as Caleb@gmail.com. Caleb.o@gmail.com, okay? Right, so you don't have to put names that are not really, that looks like a slang or whatever, okay? Just put something that looks, okay, that looks decent, and that's the word I'm looking for, that looks decent, professional, and you don't have to add numbers or things, and just make it look, So, because people that are seeing that in email, okay, or you are messaging a prof from that particular email, it doesn't look well.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, the professor doesn't see it as someone who's ready for something, or doesn't see it as a professional or as a formal, entry. So he may even disregard it. Yeah. So, and also certain information like your age. I've seen that on some CVs, especially for starters. Age, marital status, religion, passport, your photo. You don't have to put your photo if it's not required. You don't have to. I think these people require it Europass. If you are using Europass format, because some European applications you have to use their format. It's called their template. It's called Europass. Europass may demand passport. If it's demanded, fine, put. And even in most cases, they don't even need it. The space is there, but nobody cares about it. So you should know specifically if the program requires it. And if Europass, you may have to put things. You understand? Yeah. But on the general note, you don't need those things. You don't need the marital status. You don't need religion. You don't need religion in the sense that the world is quite more biased today. You understand? Okay. Certain countries, they are very sensitive for the certain group of people that they recruit. Very sensitive to certain religious, people they recruit and things like that. So just you want to hide certain information. Of course, some information can show from your name. Okay. All right. If I'm Caleb, then you know that this guy should be a Christian. Okay. But fine, good. You don't necessarily need to show it. Your even age, you don't need all those things. Just put your address, your number, email, it's fine, it's good. And also I've seen people who don't study the original materials, authentic materials. Go online there. I think I posted a lot of good CVs before on my status, okay? So please, I will enjoy everyone to do that. You don't have to lie, and the structure must be fine. The structure, when you are writing your roles anywhere under your research experience or teaching experience or wherever, you have to start with the active verb. Understand? Right? That's the what do you call it? I think they call it a gerund. A gerund is like if you are still working there, okay? Like conducting, participating, carrying out, things, performing, things like that. You understand? And somewhere you have worked before, it's a past experience, not a current experience, then you have to use past tense. It must be active verb, like conducted, carried out, things like that. So, and your sectional order also matter. People tend to miss the sectional order. What I mean by that is that after your educational status, you don't just come and put volunteer experience, or you go and put your references there. You understand? No. So you have to put it on the scale of importance. If you are applying for research experience, like a research position rather, bring up your research experience first after education. Okay. Follow it up with maybe a scholarship that you have won before. No. So the things that are stronger for that position should come first. So there is no particular order for it. You understand? Just the education must come first. So after education, there is no particular order. You can even bring your skills next after education. You understand? So it is what the things that you feel are very relevant, because some of these evaluators don't even have enough time to even go through your CV. So just bring to them what is much more important for your strength first. Okay. Yeah. So also, people don't even know that they have to include publication is in progress, manuscript that is in progress. You don't have to include it under publication sections, where you can create a section like manuscript in development, manuscript in progress, things like that, or submitted manuscript, things like that. Just fix them there. Okay. Don't just put the title, but put the name of the author, the manuscript in progress, put the name of the authors as if it's a publication. Okay. Outline them, and at the front write the title of the manuscript that is in progress, and then open the bracket, put manuscript in progress. If you submitted, just put submitted in XYZ journal. Okay. So I believe people miss that a lot. Also, don't bury your research. People tend to bury their research experiences and abilities, okay, by not expressing them very well, also, and by overlooking them. That is why we have discussed earlier how you should know that this is what you have and this is actually how to put it. Okay. For instance, we're talking about the research experience, that you can bring out connecting points from these things. If you don't know, you won't know, and you'll be burying ability. So, and single out your research experience and your teaching experience, single them out. Okay. Before, I made that mistake severally, and many people are still making that mistake. Since you are applying for a research position, let it be singled out, research experience. Before, I used to put everything as work experience, everything together, so make it catching. So I think that people make mistakes in that area before. So I think for now, this is what I can discuss.
Yeah. Do you we didn't talk about like internship, like IT, science. What section should they fall under? Is it work experience? Does it count as work experience?
If it's purely academic and research focused, then it's research experience. Almost all my internship are all research experiences. Yeah, almost all my internships are all of them. They are under research, because these are the places I have done research activities. So they are all under research experiences. If it's a teaching practice, but those in education department, then it has to be under teaching experience. Okay, so it depends on the area in which it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for detailed answer. Let's talk about standing out. What makes an academic CV stand out?
Yeah, I think doing the right thing makes it stand out. Doing the right thing, getting the right structure, bringing out your potentials. Okay, or making up for it, bringing them out or making up for it. By bringing them out, I'm talking about the right way to articulate them. Okay, find the best possible way to articulate them. And by making up, I mean, if you don't have certain skills, go for them, pay for them, go for online courses, go for workshops. Okay, go for even internships, short internship, 3 months, 6 months. They are very good enough. Yeah, you have an ample experience with such. You understand? So I believe that will really help. So if you know the right thing, the right structure, by going through CVs that other CVs, there are several CVs online that are very good, especially when you follow scholars. A lot of scholars out there on LinkedIn, on Twitter, they post a lot of okay, and even from what we are discussing now, so you can put everything together. If you ask me how many CVs have I gone through, how do I come about my current CV, I will tell you it's as a result of years of going through a lot of CV, a lot, both the ones from from different universities, from different scholars, so I have tried to study all of them. There is almost nothing you will see in a CV today, or something somebody will say about a CV. That is not in my CV. There is no structure to talk about, okay, this is how to do this and this. That is not there. It's about going to read about it generally, knowing how to structure it, knowing how to say, how to articulate is a very powerful thing, okay? And making up for any skill you think is relevant, strongly relevant, and you don't have. Find a way to get it. It might not be on a large scale, but get it and get it one way or the other.
Thank you very much for that advice. Now, before we wrap up, what's one advice you would give to someone that's applying for scholarship or graduate school right now, that's in regards to concerning academic CV?
Okay, I think one term I like using is the fighting spirit. You must just have the fighting spirit because you are going to have a lot of discouragement along the way. I'm talking about where you will have, because you will have people who are from different countries, especially countries that expose their students, applicants, or their students to, or blessed undergraduate students to, bigger experiences, than it is in your country. They have better structures, better equipment, lab equipment, or whatever, better academic standard than yours. Even their own school has more higher ranking than yours. So if you see their CV, you to chicken out. So in such case, what you should do is to have fighting spirit. How do I say fighting spirit? Is that I don't have this kind of experience. How do I bring it out? For instance, it's good to ask questions. When I feel I didn't have some volunteer experience, I was asking questions from friends, from those who have gone ahead, who are from scholars. And they told me, oh, this one is a leadership experience. Because you may not know, this one is a volunteer experience. This one is this one is this one is this. I'm like, seriously, I have all this? So these are you have to know. And any skills you think is fine that many people win certain scholarships have and you don't have, by all means you don't have. Just go and find a way to get it. It can be through a workshop, it might not be through a formal, it might not be through an extensive and elaborate platform or settings. You understand? Right. So for instance, even currently, I'm looking for where to intern, even if it's 1 month to get certain skills that I need. Currently, I'm looking for where to intern, even if it's just 1 month. Just let me intern there. If it's just two months, let me intern there. Some of these internships are not even paid. You understand? So just find a way to, do something. Just get this. Even if it's a workshop, 2-3 days workshop, get it. That skill. So you must have that fighting spirit that no, I need to get this. I need to get this. I need to get these courses, online courses. Coursera, Udemy, listen, that will help my profile. So just find a way to make your profile robust, strong always. So you must have fighting spirit and how to make it better. Study more about CV structure, how to put certain things, how to articulate, just find a way of making things better.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that advice. I'm really sure it will help someone listening. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today. This was very insightful. I learned a lot, and I'm sure anybody that is listening also picked 1 or 2 things. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. The pleasure is ours. And to everyone listening, I hope this episode helped you with how to properly write your academic CV. For me, I had a lot of take home, but I'll say my key take home is your final year project is not just something you did to graduate. It belongs to your CV. You should write it, know how to use it to market yourself. And you can also write your key take home on the comment section so that we can see. We would love to see them, see what you've learned from this episode. Remember, your CV is not just a document, it's your academic story and it shows your potential. If you found this helpful, share with someone who's currently applying for scholarship or grad school, and don't forget to follow Scholar ChitChat for more practical conversations like this. Until next time, keep striving, keep applying, and keep showing up for your future. Don't give up. All you need is just one yes, and I believe that yes is on the way.